Here we are with Screen Recorder open, and the first thing you notice is that we have a series of dotted lines, a rectangular shape. This is the area that's going to be recorded on the desktop, and you can grab the handles inside the corners of this dotted area and resize that area. However, most of the time we're going to be probably recording in full screen mode, and we set that in the menu area. Let's go through the menu, which is the most important part of the recorder for setting our screen, webcam, and then both. Let's start with the screen. In the screen, here's what we set. There's a little arrow on the right. Click that, and here's where you set the size of what you're going to record on the screen. And again, most of the time you want to put that on full screen. The other important item in this menu is the narration. Notice next to narration, there's also another drop-down arrow. And when you click that, it displays all the microphones that are currently connected to your computer. Now, this is very, very important. We want you to use the type of microphone that you see me using. I am wearing a headset with a microphone attached that always stays close to my mouth. Even if I move my head, it stays close. If you use a built-in microphone on the computer, not only will you pick up a lot of noise, room noise, and the audio quality will suffer. But if you move your head, it sounds like you're in another room. So please, we recommend that you use one of these headsets with a mic. Now, these can be checked out from Distance Ed, or as in my case, since I'm going to be doing a lot of these recordings, I went to Best Buy and I purchased a Logitech headset with a microphone for $35. It's a good investment. So when you click the arrow next to narration, make sure you select in my case, it's going to be the Logitech. If you're checking out the ones from Distance Ed, they would have the brand name of the Sennheiser. So select that. Notice there's also a microphone on the webcam. That's a good microphone, but it's also far away from your mouth. And again, it suffers with the same condition. If you turn your head away from that microphone on the webcam, it sounds like you have left the room. So please use the Sennheiser or the Logitech. Now, once you select it, another panel comes up that you have a button to adjust your volume. Click that and speak in your normal tone, and it will try to give a pleasant volume. If you're a soft-spoken person, it will raise it. If you're loud like me, then it will lower it. And then click OK. And now you're set with the screen size and you've set the microphone. Notice down here below the narration, there's something called computer audio. If you should go to a site where there's audio or something like YouTube where there's video with audio and you want to record some of that as part of your presentation, then turn this on. Right now it's off. Turn it on and it will capture that audio from your computer. Let's move on to the next item, which is the webcam. When you click webcam, there's a drop-down menu on the right corner, and you might have more than one webcam, especially if you have a laptop. It will have a built-in webcam, and certainly you can use that. It's a good quality most of the time, but if you're borrowing a webcam from Distance Ed, it would be this HD Pro webcam C920 that you would use. So select it, and you should see your own reflection or your own image on the webcam. I want to demonstrate some poor examples of composition. Notice the frame here, there's a great deal of space between the top of my head and the top of the frame. That's not very pleasant. We want to adjust it so there's just a slight amount of space between the top of the frame and the top of the head. I'm going to adjust that now. So here I've adjusted the camera so that we have just a little bit of space between the top of the head and the top of the frame, and not the large amount of space that we had earlier. The other thing to consider when you're videotaping yourself, be careful about the background. We don't want to put ourselves in front of a bright window or a bright white wall, because that will turn your face into a silhouette. And the opposite is also true. If you have very dark drapes or a dark wall, then your face will get washed out. So think about that, and look at your video composition before you start recording. Finally, the last item on the menu, or the last tab, is the both. And this combines then everything, the webcam and the screen capture. Notice that it takes the webcam and puts it in a window, and this window can be grabbed and dragged and placed in any place on the screen. Now, there may be times when this webcam window, may obstruct some important information during the recording. What you can do then is to pause the recording and then come back and grab this window and move it out of the way from obstructing important information on the screen. Don't feel that you have to stay with the webcam window where it defaults. You can move it around and use the pause button to change its position.